Hello, everyone, and welcome back to A Love Letter to My 20s. My name is Ariana, and if you are watching this, it's scheduled to post on July 4th. So happy July 4th to everyone. I hope you had a really fun weekend. The weekend did not happen for me yet, but I'm sure that it'll be super fun, and I'm really excited. So, yeah, happy holidays. And what a great way to start your day than to listen to my podcast. So, we're going to jump right into this episode because it's going to be a lot. I was writing down different topics and notes that I want to talk about, and it took up, I'm showing the YouTube video, 2 full pages in my journal, and it's crazy. It's a mess because every thought that came to my head, I was just writing down. So, I don't even know how I'm going to go through all of these. I feel like those are the best types of episodes, though, is when you're just kind of ranting on, and I can definitely do that for you guys about this topic. So we're going to talk about confidence and insecurities because this is something that I feel like everyone struggles with, and I want to touch topics that a lot of people struggle with. And me personally, I struggle with this a lot. I have struggled with being insecure, with finding confidence, with hating myself for a very long time. I know some really pretty and great people who still just tear themselves down and who still think that they are not worth it. And it's just crazy to me, like seeing how many people actually struggle with being insecure and not being in love with themselves, because this insecurity and confidence and all of that, it's the root of your relationships with other people, like your confidence and not even just relationships, your work style, the way that you carry yourself everywhere you go, everything in your life just stems from confidence and not being insecure. So it's just crazy to me that so many people struggle with this, including myself, and it's not talked about that much. I mean, it is talked about. I always see, like, you should love yourself and everything, but no one is really saying how, because I know that it's not just like a simple, this is what you need to do, and then all of a sudden you're going to be your dream self and you're going to love yourself. But we're just going to talk about all of that. I want to share my experience and my thoughts, and hopefully it'll help at least one person, the things that I'm going to be saying, because even one person is good enough for me to hopefully reach. But I'm starting this off with my theory that I actually came up with, and I'm calling it the mom theory. You can apply this to like anything. It doesn't have to be a mom, but I just like calling it the mom theory. I think it's like really quirky and stuff. So say you have this mom, or a mom. It could be your mom, it could be a made-up mom, any of that, whatever. And so you have this mom, and you really, like, she is with you 24/7. She is always taking care of you. She gives you baths, like she helps you shower. She takes you to the store, does all these things for you. She really cares about you, and you love this woman. Like, you cannot give enough thanks because this person is amazing. This is a made-up figure. So this person just does everything for you, and you love them. You would never call this person ugly or fat or tear this person down and call them annoying. So it's like, we are that figure for ourselves because we do everything for ourselves. You are the only person that you start and end your day with every single day for the rest of your life. The only person that you know for a fact is going to be there is yourself. That's 100% guaranteed. I can't promise you anything, but I could promise you that you will always be there for yourself. So why do we call ourselves all these things? You know what I mean? Like, you would never say that to someone that you love. So why do we say that to ourselves when we're the ones that get ourselves to wake up in the morning? We're the ones that get ourselves to do these things. We're the ones that take care of ourselves, that shower ourselves, and we're the ones who put ourselves to bed. We're the ones who talk to ourselves through hard things. When we're crying, yeah, sure, you can have another person there, but you're always there, and you're always in your mind. You're just always talking to yourself. So you are the number one person there for you. So, why do we call ourselves these horrible things and why do we tear ourselves down? Because we would never do that to people that we care about and people that, you know, put ourselves first because we're those people. Does that make sense? It just we need to stop and I do this a lot and I'm trying not to where we just talk so negatively about ourselves. Like I always am like, oh, my skin is horrible. Like I look so fat today, and I'm trying not to do that as much because it's like if you wouldn't say it to a person that you really love, we need to stop saying it to ourselves. Even if it's like jokes and stuff. I'm not trying to be like a mother, like you can't even joke, but even like the jokes where you're like, "Ugh, I'm so fat. Like I literally could destroy this chair because of my weight." Even those things, talking about yourself in a negative way is just putting out negative energy. Energy, what we talked about last episode or 2 episodes ago. But yeah, I just feel like we need to be kinder to ourselves because we do so much for ourselves. And at the end of the day, we're the only ones who actually are going to be there for ourselves. So if you love yourself, it's going to show in your relationships, it's going to show in your everyday life because you are kind to yourself. And that's my number one thing about confidence and insecurities and all of that is that if you want to be confident from the outside out, like how you look, you have to start with the way that you speak to yourself. It has to be an inner thing because I was going to the gym and I go through cycles where I go to the gym for like a month straight and then I would stop going for like another month straight. And the month that I was going, I felt great. And I then would lose it all. And I kept going through these phases. This was like since I was old enough to drive myself to the gym. I would always go, get into these phases, and then stop. And the thing is that I learned that once you start moving your body and working out for pleasure instead of results, you tend to get yourself to do it more. And it's a mental mind shift where it's like, I'm working out and I'm working on my body, not just because I want to be skinny. Like, obviously, everyone has a certain body weight that they want to reach, and that's why they work out and stuff. But once I started getting into the mindset of, you know what, I actually like doing these things. So I talk about yoga a lot, but yoga is the thing that I actually like doing and moving my body, and I actually find it fun and rewarding. Like afterwards, I feel so good about myself and I feel great. And I didn't feel that when I was lifting. So if you feel like you're someone that is on and off about these things, maybe try and reach out and try something that you can still move your body with. Like I was trying to run. That wasn't my thing, but I like taking walks outside, like just doing things that you actually enjoy and not just focusing the whole time on what you look like and what you're going to look like because the results are going to come as long as you have this mindset of I'm doing this because I'm taking care of myself. I'm working out because I love myself right now in this present moment. I'm okay with how I look, but I just want to work out to make myself feel better. Because once you start working out to make yourself feel good instead of look good, your workouts are 10 times better and you actually end up getting that, look that you want and everything just comes together. But I feel like the big mistake that I was making was that I would go to the gym and lift weights cuz I wanted to look like I had the biggest ass ever, and I still don't. I have the smallest butt ever, but I'm okay with that now because I stopped caring about the little details of how my body looked because after like a month of working out I didn't see results, so I would just be really upset. But now with yoga and doing things that I actually like to do, I tend to actually just work out because I enjoy it and then the results just come with it. So a lot of it is just mindset, I feel like, and just if you love yourself along the way, and it may be hard. I know that it's so easy to say, but It is hard. Like, I remember I hated how I looked. I would see pictures and just tear myself down. I don't know if anyone else does this. I catch myself doing this sometimes, still to this day. I would like go through my Instagram and look at old pictures of myself and just archive them. And I would literally analyze them as if I was someone else and just be like, no, no. Like, I would look at my Instagram pictures as if I was someone else looking at my profile, and I would just tear myself down. I'm sorry that I even gave the idea of doing that because it's a horrible thing for your mental state, and I would do that all the time. But I have tried to stop it. I did do it like a month ago, but that's another thing is that I was acting like I was on my profile as someone else, what I would look at myself as if I were to be someone else. And that's another thing that kind of affects your insecurity and your confidence is caring too much about what other people think. Like back to the mom theory, say you still have this mother that you really love and she takes care of you and she does all this stuff, whatever, you love her. And then some random Sally from the grocery market is like, you know what? Your mom's annoying. That wouldn't change your viewpoint at all because you're like, I know this woman. She takes care of me. Like, she's the best person in the world. Like, I love her. Even though this Sally girl says that she's really annoying, I love her and that doesn't really affect me. So apply that to yourself when other people put in their judgments. I know so many people say this, but it's so true. A lot of the times when people judge other people, it's because they are insecure about that in themselves. It's a deep rooted thing. Like it's just proven time and time again. And I'm not saying that I don't judge anyone because it's just like a common human nature thing. But I try to be open minded and not really put that negative energy out into the world anymore. But it happens where, people will just be like, I don't like her outfit. I don't like how she dressed. And people are going to have judgments. So when people say this stuff, it's just opinions. Like, none of it changes it. It didn't really change in the mom theory the way that you viewed your mother. So it shouldn't change the way that you view yourself because at the end of the day, you know what work you put into yourself because, again, you are the person that is with yourself 24 hours a day. You know yourself the best. And no one is ever going to fill the shoes that you could fill for yourself. And once we start understanding like how much power we have in taking care of ourselves and loving ourselves, we can literally be unstoppable. Like any judgment and any words that come to us, we can just be like, no, well, I don't care because I know myself so well and I love myself so well that your words genuinely mean nothing to me. If you don't like my outfit, I don't care because I picked it out myself and I'm a good person at heart. So I don't really care if you don't like me. You know what I mean? That is like my mindset when it comes to not being as insecure because when I was younger, I literally remember this vividly. Like, I told my mom, I was probably like 12, and I told my mom, I was like, I don't want to wear shorts because my thighs are huge. And at the time, One Direction was big, and Louis Tomlinson's girlfriend had a thigh gap. And I was just like, my thighs are too big. I can't wear shorts. It's so crazy to me because these things happen when you're so young. Like, I'm sure so many people have dealt with body issues and the way that they look and not liking how they look. I used to have the worst acne in the world last year. It was really bad. Like, my confidence shot from like 0 to below -degrees, whatever. My skin was horrible. And it's so hard to get into this mindset of loving yourself and not being insecure when you wake up every day and I had like a full face of acne. Like it was bad. I'm never going to show pictures. But if you're listening to this and you know me, maybe I'll show you if you ask me. It covered my whole face and it was so hard for me to be confident in myself when I looked like that. I know that everything that I'm saying, it makes sense and it's easy to switch to this mindset, but when your physical appearance actually is tearing you down, it's hard. But my advice to that is that I did something about it. So I would complain about my acne all the time. And then I was doing these things, they were making it worse, it wasn't working. And so I just told myself, I was like, I'm just going to keep doing things until something changes. I'm not going to sit here anymore and tear myself down and complain how I look. I went to the doctors, I got a prescription, and slowly but surely my skin was clearing up. I was feeling so much better about myself. And the thing with the way you look is that you can actually change it. As much as people say that you can't, you can change anything about yourself. You can dye your hair, you can put on makeup. If you're a guy, you can change the way you dress. If you don't like the way you look right now, do something to change it. Even if it's literally a whole style change, the way that you do your hair, the way you do your makeup, try out different things, because that's how we learn and that's how we grow and that's how we become people that we want to be. I have dyed my hair multiple times. I literally was blonde at one point, and now I'm at the point where I found a hair color that I really like. And I know that this may not apply to some guys, but it's just the whole purpose that you can change the way that you act. You can change the way that you look at any time. You can start moving your body. You can start finding things that you actually like to do to help yourself get moving and get active. Because if we just sit around all day and just complain about how we look and we do nothing about it, it just defeats the purpose. You know what I mean? Because when you put in work into yourself, and when you take care of yourself, and when you change your mindset and really start loving yourself, all the results are going to come. You need to trust me on this, because this is coming from someone that hated how they looked and literally hated their body and hated their face. And this person is me. And I also hated my personality. I just hated everything about myself. And I started taking care of myself, and I started doing like different looks and changing things until I found something that I really liked, because the power that you have is insane, and the way that you can love yourself is also insane. So we just need to learn to just take care of ourselves and change whatever we want to do. Find a style that we really like. I change my style literally every other week. I change my hair like every other month. It's whatever you feel confident in. The fake it till you make it thing is so real, guys. It's the same thing as how I always say, like, live as if you're your dream person. Live as if you're literally the hottest person in the world. Like, live as if you, whatever you want to be. If you want to be like the nicest person in the room, just act like you are. And once you start getting into the mindset of acting like the person you want to be, you just start to become this person. It's like a manifestation thing, law of attraction thing, but it's also just a life thing. If you act like someone that you really want to be, then you will just slowly but surely become this person, because you're doing all these things that this person would do. Like, if you want to be someone that is so confident when they walk into a room, act like it. Go into a room and be confident. It can be scary at first, and it's really hard to do that, but just start faking it, guys. Like, fake it until you make it, and that stuff really does work. When you're taking care of yourself and when you're really in tune with yourself, you will know what work that you put into yourself, that you're not going to care what other people think, especially random people. I am still trying to get to the point, because I'm a very sensitive person. I'm still trying to get to the point where someone can say something about me and I can just be like, I don't care. Like, I know myself well enough, and I love how I look, and I'm so confident with myself that those words just don't even bother me. Because the thing is that if random people can't see what work you have put into yourself, then it has nothing to do with you. Back to the example of the Sally in the grocery store, she's not going home with the thought that she thought your outfit was ugly. Like, I'm sorry, she's not going to sleep thinking, oh my God, that girl's outfit was so ugly today. Like, that's not her last thought when she goes to sleep. If it is, she's probably just a fan. You know what I mean? But it could be the last thought that you go to sleep. But we have the power to fix that. And we can fix anything that we think about, and we can fix anything that affects us. We can just change our mindsets. Just be like, I don't agree. I know myself so well, and I love myself so well that I don't agree. And I don't know if this episode is even making sense. So if it's not, please text me and I'll do better on the next one, because it's hard to talk about your physical confidence with your mental confidence because I feel like they go hand in hand. Like you have to do stuff for your physical appearance to change it. And then you also have to change your mental mindset. So it goes hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. You can't be going to the gym and working on yourself and doing all these things without your mindset just automatically shifting. And you can't shift your mindset without, seeing physical results. So it's just a really cool thing that I've been learning with being insecure and trying to find confidence within. And anything that random people say, it has nothing to do with you. And if your friends are saying it, you probably need better friends. I don't know if this is a red flag or not. And I want to hear your guys' opinions because I always think if one of your friends can go to you and say other things that your other friends are saying about you, is that a red flag? Because it's like, why are they comfortable enough saying that stuff to you? Everything's relating back to the mom theory, but it's like if someone knew that you and your mom were like this and you were so confident in your mom and you have these thoughts already that you are just going to love your mom no matter what, so anyone's thoughts that change it have nothing to do with you, I feel like people wouldn't come up to you and say rude stuff about her. I don't know. It's just like a thought that I had. That's a really random thought. So, yeah, all of these things affect everything in your life. And I want to chat a little bit about your relationships and how confidence and insecurity can actually affect that, because you cannot give into any relationship until you fall in love with yourself. It's a friendship thing, it's a relationship thing. Like, I have learned that you genuinely cannot give if you do not love yourself and if you do not give to yourself first, because it's going to affect everything. Codependency is a real thing, and that's why my world and a lot of people's world would come crashing down when the codependency was gone, because it's like, I don't even know who I am without this other person. And that is just not healthy at all. If you need to take time to just take care of yourself and learn about yourself, that's 100% okay, because confidence is the number one thing to get yourself to just live. And so when you are not fully 100% confident in yourself, it's going to show in your relationships. Insecurity literally can ruin relationships because it's like, I'm not confident enough in myself to be with this partner. I need this partner. It roots back to how I said, like, we have so much power to give ourselves so much love. So we need to start putting ourselves first in any relationship. It's not a selfish thing. It's just how life works. Like, if both partners and both people in a friendship are both very confident in themselves and they're not insecure, then it's going to make your relationships 10 times better. Feeling like you're still independent while you're also in relationships is so important, because when you're codependent on someone and when you learn to only love yourself when someone else is around, that's why things can come crashing down and you lose them, because it's like they were a part of you. So if you don't let anyone become a part of you and you just fully commit to yourself, then you will be in even better relationships, because then it's like, I am okay with myself just being alone. I'm okay and I love myself by myself. And adding someone else in now that I'm obsessed with myself and that I love myself is just an addition to raise me up. You know what I mean? Like, your relationships and your friendships should just benefit you in a way that makes you feel even better about your life. It shouldn't be something that you don't feel complete until you have this friendship and this relationship with you. It should just be you fully in love with yourself and you're okay with yourself by yourself. And then all these little things that come into your life are just things that make you feel even more grateful and make you love life even more. We're only here one time. And I know that it may be hard to give yourself love when you just don't feel like you like yourself at all and you don't like how you look and all this stuff. It's important to just try every single day to realize that we're only here one time, and the person that we're going to end with, this is really deep and scary, but it's not scary. The person that we're going to end with is ourselves. Like, we are going to die with ourselves. So we might as well just give ourselves love, change whatever we want to change about how we look, work on our personalities, and just try and give ourselves as much love as possible, because we do so much for ourselves. And you wouldn't say these things about someone that does this much for you. It's just really a mindset thing. If you walk around with grace and no judgment, no bad intentions, then no one can get to you because you're so confident in yourself. And it just shows too. Confidence really shows. Like, I am someone that grew up wanting to be like these people in school and on social media and all that stuff. And I realize now that a lot of them were just confident in themselves. And I always would just be the person that was like, I really want to be like this person. Like, I want to be able to stick up for myself and I want to be able to do whatever I want. But I can, you know what I mean? Like, I can do that. I can be that person, because you live once and you can change anything in your life. Like, you can become whoever you want to be, and you can stick up for yourself any day. If you have this stigma, because I had the stigma of being a really sensitive person and being someone that could be walked all over on, you can change that. Literally within the next minute, you can change that. And you can be like, if someone, steps on you, you can honestly just stand up for yourself. And you could be like, you know what? I don't like what you just said. You have the power to change it anytime that you want. We're only here once, and we're here with ourselves. And the only person you're not going to lose is yourself. So you might as well just do whatever you want. And you might as well take care of yourself and love yourself the most, because you can. Like, you can change anything. And there's so much peace in knowing that, because for a long time I was just like, I'm always going to be that shy person, and I'm always going to be that person that is ugly. And I just changed my mindset. I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to be that person, because at least in my eyes, I am going to love myself, and I'm going to think that I'm one of the best people that I know. So treat yourself like you are dating yourself. I'm a huge gift giver, and I take myself out on dates and buy myself things. That's not an excuse to buy myself stuff. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just treating myself. It's a fun date with myself. But yeah, treat yourself. It doesn't even have to be like gifts. Like, give yourself a self-care night. Do things for yourself that you would do for someone that you really love, because that's how we're going to start loving ourselves. People will eventually see that you're not phased, and people will start seeing your results. People will start seeing your confidence, and they'll probably just back off. Because put yourself in those shoes. If you saw someone that was so cool and so in tune with themselves, and they just like don't really care about what you say, you probably wouldn't say anything. I know you guys have seen these people, and they're just like beautiful and amazing. You're probably not going to go up to them and say something. I know I wouldn't. So if you become those people where you're just like very in tune with yourself and very in love with yourself to the point where you don't care about what anyone says, we're going to be untouchable, guys. That is my goal for this year, is to just be literally untouchable. Like, to the point where nothing phases me and no one's judgment phases me. And I still get insecure about how I look, and I still find myself comparing myself to people on social media, but social media is not real. Everyone knows this by now. People use edits and stuff. Everyone has insecurities. And like I said, I know some really cool, amazing people who will be like, I just look horrible today and I feel like my personality just sucks. There's so many people that deal with this, and even if you saw someone on Instagram, I'm sure that they probably have insecurities too, and they probably deal with stuff. I deal with stuff. Your neighbor probably deals with stuff. Everyone that you see deals with stuff. So honestly, the whole thing is just trying to fake it and be in love with yourself until you actually 100% are in love with yourself, until you actually stop caring about what you look like and stop caring about your body. Your body and your appearance, I do know, is like the hardest part, but also when you're so in tune with yourself, it gets so easy. once you're taking care of yourself, like, I'm not even thinking about the fact that yoga's, it helps you lose weight. I'm thinking about the fact that that's a bonus, and it's so good for my mind and it's so good for me and my mental health. So, yeah, just like exploring ourselves. And like I said, love letter to my 20s. Your 20s are the best times to be doing this. And this is a perfect time to fall in love with yourself because you're not held down by really anything in this time period of your life. So you can take this time to learn about yourself and be okay with yourself and grow with yourself, change all these things about yourself because you can do whatever you want. You can change anything that you want right now. You could change how you look, you could change your personality, then you could change the way that you are in your relationships. And it takes time, but we have time right now. So, yeah, I think that this is a great time for us to fall in love with ourselves again. And everything else, the results and the way that we carry ourselves, all of that is going to piece together when we start first within. So, thank you guys for watching. If you want, you can follow my Instagram and TikTok. The Instagram is ALLTMT.pod, and the TikTok, Apple Podcast, not on Google Podcast, and YouTube is all A Love Letter My 20s. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you again on Tuesday at 8 a.m. Bye.